Welcome to Domekeeper. In this video, we're going to be going through my ultimate beginner guide. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks to help you out in the game. And starting off, as you begin the game, you're going to have a bunch of different things you can change, like settings-wise and stuff. If we come over to the left-hand side, you can change your difficulty, you can change the map size. There's going to be run modifiers and stuff you can enable. Then you've got your different game modes, and some of these things are going to unlock as you're completing more runs. But you can change your keeper, you can change the camera zoom. Over here, you've got your dome, you've got gadgets you can use. And then you've got Keeper's Guild rewards where you use badges and change things around. So just make sure that you're messing around with the settings to find an area where you're comfortable. And next up is when you are actually in the game, the best way to mine is to go all the way along until you get to the very end where the wall's completely flat and you can't mine any further. And then what you want to do is you want to miss 2 blocks and then go along again. So if we go down here, if we grab this cobalt, then if we come down to this level here, what you're doing is you're missing 2 blocks because that way you can see the bottom block and you can see the top block as well. So you're not going to miss anything by like missing the 2 blocks. Like you won't miss any like resources or anything like that, any gadgets and things like that. So just make sure that you're leaving a 2 block gap when you are mining so that you're not missing out on things, and go as far as you can along until you get to the like very end of the wall and then move up and down. And next up is to be careful when you're mining, as the walls can be quite tough to get through. Some of them can be very, very tough. They take a long time to get through. One thing you can do to figure out how tough a wall's going to be to mine through is if you have a look at the texture or the pattern on the wall, you'll see here, like where there's lots of gaps, the wall is basically easier to break through. Whereas like when you've got a bit of wall that's got less gaps, it's going to be harder to break through. And then it's completely unbreakable if the wall is solid. So there you'll see that it's taken quite a long time to get through, but this one here is a lot faster. And here you just cannot mine because it's essentially the edge of the mine. And next up is when you first start a run, what I recommend is going down, getting some of the iron and water, and use those resources to come up into your dome, go to the computer, press your right bumper on a controller to go to upgrades. And in here, the very first things you want to unlock are the hostile proximity meter, because it displays the time until the next wave of monsters. So if we upgrade that, you'll see at the bottom left, there's now a bar. When that bar empties, that means that the monsters are on their way. The next thing you want to upgrade is your the ability to be able to see your dome's health. So grab the health meter. And then you want to get inventory management as well, because if you have a look at the bottom left, we've got the health, we've got the wave or the monsters. And inventory management is going to display the current amount of stored resources. So if we unlock this one by using water, you're now going to see the resources you have available. So those 3 upgrades are really, really important straight away. And by unlocking those, you then have the ability to use cobalt to repair. You can then go and upgrade things further, like get an extra health for your dome. And the 3 resources available in the game are the yellow squares, which are iron, then you've got the blue circles, which are water, then you've got the purple triangles, which are your cobalt. And next up is when you come across these weird lines, this is a gadget. So what you want to do is you want to grab one of these and take them straight back up to your dome. So once you've destroyed all 4 of the things, you'll unlock the gadget, and then you can just grab it like your normal resources, head up to your dome, and then it's going to give you some options. So here we can shred to cobalt, that's always an option, and personally I think that's completely pointless. And then we have 2 gadget choices. We can either take a missile launcher which fires target-seeking missiles and monsters. You manually have to trigger it. Or we can get a drilling rig, which is a central drill that goes deep into the mine, and you can have optional side drillers and stuff when you upgrade it. I'm going to grab the drilling rig because I'm not too bothered about the missile launcher. I'm only playing on an easy difficulty. But these 2 gadgets you are offered will always be random. The shredding to cobalt is going to, it's a permanent option. But just make sure that whenever you find a gadget, take it straight back to your dome and get that free unlock. And next up is to always upgrade your mining ability. So here under the engineer, like the top one's laser dome with the basic upgrades. Then you've got engineer. This is going to be your mining skills. Make sure you always upgrade these because you can dig faster, you can move around quicker, and you can increase your carry strength. So basically you can lower the slowdown that you're going to have by picking up more resources. These are really, really important, like to make progress in the mine, to get more resources for further upgrades and stuff. But on top of that, you also need to focus on the laser, and you can do that by upgrading the power of it. You can upgrade you can add an aiming line to it, you can increase the speed, and these are going to be just as important because you have all your mining and stuff, but your survivability is important as well. You're going to have lots of waves of monsters. They get increasingly more difficult the more waves you have, like the further you are into the mine. So it's about finding the right balance, but always focus your upgrades on your mining ability and your survivability. Next up is when you find the relic in the Hunt the Relic mode, you're going to need to power up 2 nodes to open it up. So make sure you follow the cables. This is one of the nodes you need to power up, and you'll see the cable coming off it. So if we follow this cable, we will eventually find the relic. And once you've got the relic, that is the end of the mode. They send a big wave of enemies after you, and once you've defended against them, that will be the end. So you don't necessarily want to rush to do this. And once you have followed the cable the whole way, you're going to see these weird nodes again, the same ones you see for a gadget. And if you destroy all of these, you will see the other cable. We've actually found it straight away, coming off the right-hand side over there. So all we've got to do now to complete this run is just follow the cables after we've got rid of all of these nodes. And once we have got to the end of this cable and we've powered up the thing at the end of the cable, we will then be able to grab the relic and take it back to the dome. And the average match, I'm going to say, will last roughly around 30 to 40 minutes. So that's the second one powered up. And now if we go back to the relic, you are going to see that that starts powering up. And once that has done its thing, it's going to open. We can grab ourselves the relic the same way you pick up any resource. We take it back up to our dome, and this is why I recommend you do some defensive upgrades on your dome, because this wave gets really, really tough. But there you go. After you take out the wave, that is run complete. And the final tip for this video is when you complete a run, you do get to choose from rewards. If you go to unlock a new element, you can do a time lapse, you can show the mine and stuff. But this is where you'll unlock things like prestige mode. You'll get the drone yard, which I've got. You can get the orchard, sword dome. There's a bunch of different things you can unlock. You're basically going to have a few different things. You make the choice. And once you have picked your reward for run completion, you are back to the beginning and you start all over again. So that was my ultimate beginner guide for Dome Keeper. Some tips and tricks to help you guys out. And what we are going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this game in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Thank you for watching.